champion pool issues. So we will see here in game number 1. If GAM have done their research, they will ban Ziggs. Okay, good. They banned Ziggs. They have done their research. Following that, Cassiopeia is another really big APA champion. They're going to go for the Lee Sin instead, as Pyosik popped off and became God in their game versus T1, so they don't want to repeat there. But we'll see, because Syndra and Orianna, APA was already trash talking in the all chat in pregame.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy definitely is a talker. But, you know, Cassio is one of those picks. Nico's another one of the picks. I don't think we've seen him bring out yet at Worlds, but it's definitely one of his comfort picks. He plays a lot of oddball stuff, even things that we haven't seen him bring out on stage that I'm not expecting. But, you know, when you look at this guy playing solo queue, he's playing Pantheon, he's playing Kled, he's playing Cassio, he's playing Ziggs, he's playing all kinds of stuff. That's not really the meta. And it is going to be another ban here towards Pyosik, who did have an incredible game against T1, and a lot of players I've been talking to really do have concerns about playing against Pyosik because they do know that he can get to those incredibly high levels.
And those have been, by far, his 2 favorite, most recent champions. He was spamming Viego. Of course, he had the T1 pop-off game, so a lot of respect there paid from GAM to the world champion. On the other side, Team Liquid up until now, they were red side both times. They didn't have an option to get APA Orianna. This is one of the premier picks in the meta right now, but also I know this is his most spammed in solo queue as well. So hopefully for Team Liquid, for him, they'll feel very confident on it. Orianna is obviously a mid laner that scales very well by enabling a lot of your teammates, and it also sets up carry top laners. Top laners is definitely something we want to talk on with these 2 teams, because Kiaya is GAM's superstar, and they've locked in Rumble.
And we've been seeing a lot of Ignite Rumble. This is a really frightening pick, but at the same time, when I think of picks that can sometimes handle it, I think of Gnar. And when I think of Gnar, I think of Summit, right? So I do think that's one of the guys from our league that maybe has the best shot of being able to have a strong answer to this pick.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the lanes once we get into the game that I'm going to focus on very heavily, because both Summit and Kiaya have monster lane phases, monster stats, best in the league. The other one I would propose in addition to that top lane pick for Summit of the Gnar is the Aatrox. You can go the common Aatrox version is a decent way of trying to deal with it, but GAM have actually loaded up on a lot of AP here, also grabbing away the Maokai.
And I will say, in addition to that, we've seen Summit on the Cassante that's actually just popped up in front of our faces too. If there's a neutralizing option, if there's something that I think in this tournament, like many others and in regular seasons, this pick has just been so good for so long, locked in for TL as they get 2 power picks.
And it is interesting, right? Because it's I think, weaker in lane than some of the other options that we were talking about, and Summit is such a strong laner, but I think that TL are coming into this, and they should feel confident about their ability to outplay in 5v5. They've got some really talented players, and I think that they're going to be feeling like they want to play standard in these early games. We'll see if they do continue towards this. Jarvan would be a really strong pick here. Good early game jungler, good options for Pyosik, also combined so well with the Orianna. Delivering that ball for the Shockwave is going to be dangerous, and it's going to mean that GAM is going to need to have safety on their carries. And Tristana, I think, is such a smart answer. We've been seeing this a lot more from the Eastern teams. I think it's super underrated by the Western teams because it does give you a lot of that safety. You have the Buster Shot, you have the Rocket Jump.
Plus, they have already got so much AP, like we're talking about with the first 2 picks. You really do want an AD mid here, some threat, and Jace is banned. So Tristana really popping up in priority there. I'm assuming that is mid lane. Obviously, they could switch it and play a kill lane bottom for Slater and Pallet if they want.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing LPL and LCK teams now, you know, they are playing more of that Tristana bot, right? You know, regionally in NA, not a lot of teams actually did that. You know, the only team in our league that I can really think of doing it a lot was Golden Guardians with Stixxay. So, you know, TL obviously will have some experience playing against it mid, because everyone plays it mid, but bot, not a lot of teams have really been doing it, even though I do think it's a good pick.
And I think so far in this draft, what we're seeing is the play styles, right? Especially with GAM, they are a quick early pace team. We know that from the BCS, we know that from GAM. This is a comp that wants to start running and snowballing over as we're starting to get rid of some of the solutions that could maybe go into that bottom lane or that hover pick that we're seeing with the ban of Kalista.
Yeah, I think they want to let Slater and Pallet have a good early lane phase by protection ban a few of these lane bullies against them so that Levi can go up top to Kiaya. I think that's when this team looks the best. Kiaya will smash that lane phase. He's on the Rumble. They need to get that Rumble snowballing and bring him down to some objective fights. Whittling down on those AD carries, though, expected to continue.
I feel like so far, again, well, Elsa actually taken away, that we're getting towards those B tiers, right? I mean, Kai'Sa taken. Not often do you see in the ban phase, usually going to be the Traderoo. On the other side, Xayah as well. I mean, we are starting to go down that list. Gentlemen, run me through what's kind of left here on for GAM to respond with what you're expecting, maybe another AD, maybe another support ban themselves.
Yeah, honestly, the Ezreal, I know everybody has really been shying away from it because a lot of European AD carries
They do not like that pick.
have had a terrible time with it, but that is one of those ones, if you're looking at a kill lane, and we're expecting melee supports to come in here, Rakan is still available, so they can go for a Rakan, for Nautilus, something like that, to have that pressure on bottom side. I think they need one more piece of initiation here for GAM, and try and go for, but if they go with the Zeri, then you can go Renata, you can go Lulu, you can have one of those more supportive, and then you're fully relying on Maokai though as your setup, and you really want to be able to keep someone in place on a Rumble Ultimate. So I think they need a little bit more structure.
I will say though, if we lock Neela here, I think Renata is so good because that's so much dive, for TL, that being able to have the Renata and being able to have enchanters with double AD carry teams, I always think is really, really strong. Be able to go towards some really efficient itemization like the Ardent Sensor. It is instead, of course, going to be the Aphelios, so TL drafting standard, drafting 5v5, and expecting an engaged support here from Core.
Yeah, there's a lot of options still available for him.
Probably. Okay. Just based on his comfort and what's banned out, that would be my expectation. Thresh is also another comfort pick, though, too.
Yeah, you would like point and click for Zeri generally, usually, but
that's why I thought Nautilus, to be honest. I mean, Core, like, this is the pick that he was most known for, but really hasn't been playing it as much over the last couple of years. But when people talked about him when he was first coming into NA as a support, he was winning on TL.
Pick, yeah.
This was his pick.
It also makes it really, really reliable for Yan, because if Yan only has to worry about Rumble Ultimate and Maokai Ultimate here as you engage, okay, there's the Rakan. Then the Thresh Lantern really provides so much extra safety from Aphelios. That's why it's one of the oldest pairings with this champion. But Pallet getting that Rakan on last pick in this game, I think is just so huge here. That gives you the extra initiation with the Maokai, so you don't fully have to rely on that, and it should set up Kiaya for some big Rumble Ultimates.
So I want to break down here, gentlemen. I want to know how these comps work, because again, when you've got two LCS casters on the desk, you better believe that they're going to tell us everything we need to know about TL. I see a lot of circles in this comp on the blue side, which has been so OP so far. So start breaking me down what TL want to
one of the biggest storylines with TL, of course, with the substitution of APA coming into the lineup, is that then they were split in languages for their in-game comms.
I've heard,
but Pyosik and APA have not actually needed to use that many words to combine for a lot of their plays. They've shown synergy with like Lee Sin plus Nico, kicking them into the ultimate. So I have confidence in them that they'll be able to make good use of those circles that you're mentioning. Obviously, it's the Jarvan ultimate plus the Orianna. Jarvan EQ in with Shockwave and Jarvan ultimate are very, very reliable ways of initiating. If you can get that onto the double AD carry backline of GAM, that would be ideal for them. Meanwhile, obviously, Core JJ and Summit looking to peel for Yawn during this and let that Aphelios be the DPS.
It's also worth mentioning Kiaya is not playing the Ignite Rumble, so he's playing that more conservative approach here with the teleport. It is going to be Comet. But when you are not playing that Ignite, your kill pressure is that much lower, and I think Summit is going to be feeling so much more comfortable now, knowing that it is not that Ignite, because you can win all-ins against a non-Ignite Rumble as Cassante post 6. It's possible.
It's crazy to me because this is the solo kill king in the top lane of the VCS. When we go into Summoner's Rift now, when it's do or die, TL versus GAM, I mean, both have been at international so many different times, but never versing each other. Now in the battle coming through as connect your League of Legends account with Prime Gaming to grab the exclusive experimentation emote. That's all you need to know. Go and get it.
Yeah, the only other really annoying thing for a Cassante versus a Rumble, especially a Cassante versus a Rumble and Maokai, is that it really dissuades you from rushing to your Iceborne Gauntlet because you need some early magic resistance because it's so AP heavy for the top side of the lane. So that's one of the reasons why you're not like as scared of those red side Cassante picks into these matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I think it's such an easy Merchandise rush for Summit when you're playing against Rumble, Maokai topside, right? Like, I think he's still going to be able to get some really effective MR in early, and then we'll see where he wants to go with his Mythic. But if you are an NA fan and you're looking for a little bit of hope, a little bit of cope, the all-time head-to-head between the VCS and the LCS is 10-1 in favor of LCS.
Really?
So it's very heavily in favor. VCS has actually historically done a lot better against LEC, which is interesting because we've had our fair share of losses against the smaller leagues, but just often it is not against the VCS. You know, VCS, though, was 6-13 against LEC, so obviously still very heavily favored towards the LEC, but that's more where their upsets have come.
And I think looking more specifically at GAM as well, I mean, everyone sees this as the representative from the VCS. With Pallet with a quick trade in the bot side just to kick things off on his Rakan that we've seen so many times already. is a tangent to tell you that they're 2-4, 1-5, 1-5 in individual years when they've been there in 2017, 2019, and 2022 respectively. There might be the representative, but again, using your NA record, when they go head-to-head with some of these major regions, they tend to struggle. And now 0-2, where they can't drop this best of 3, they can't drop any best of 3. I think it's important to note that they need to start strong.
Yeah, so much pressure. These are the highest pressure games that we have had at Worlds so far because these are elimination ones. These are the first elimination games. And we do see opposite side jungle paths here, so Team Liquid, as we're watching these bottom side trades, also know that Jarvan is coming down. GAM have a ward on the Raptors, so they have perfect timing on Pyosik right now.
And I really want to see, can TL actually get Yon going in a meaningful way? Because it hasn't felt like he's really had a great time. Even in that T1 game, got behind early, wasn't very relevant, wasn't honestly a huge part of their win. It didn't feel like against Energy either. But he had been such a carry threat for the team in NA, really improved from spring to summer. So I want to see if they can actually get him rolling, build some confidence for Yon, because if they are to win this series, they are going to have to rely on this AD carry.
Because I think the funny thing is Slater and Pallet started off slow as well, right? The difference was that they were in play-ins and Slater really struggled to get off the ground.
I want to point out something that just happened here. We had a recall from Slater because they did see Jarvan over here through his jungle, so they had perfect timing. They know he's ending down there. He's coming for the gank. So he goes for the early recall, picks up boots in base to walk right back down to lane for Slater here, and will be full HP and have the extra potion still available. So shouldn't be any early action thus far, just an easy trade of those scuttle crabs.
Hang on. You said no early action. This is GAM, though, Kobe. I mean, you're casting the VCS,
You can
brother.
argue with me, but you can't argue with the map, my
All
friend.
those circles, man. Those are big circles.
It's going to be interesting to see, when that first fight breaks out, if either team is going to be playing heavily, prioritizing that dragon or anything like that. I mean, if I'm TL and I'm playing this comp, I don't feel like I need to really do anything. Like, I think you're going to be happy to sit back, farm it up, try to play to scale here.
Yeah, I think first area to go for is a Maokai flash W angle onto mid lane. If you can flash W onto the Orianna, you're going to, at the worst, trade flashes here with an exceptionally aggressive AD carry mid like Tristana. So that could be one area, and especially since we've had this big target on APA's back with Palafox really opening up in the last game.
I mean, it was rough, wasn't it? A Razork on that mid lane. What did he go in the end? Like 0-7, 0-8? APA really struggled, and it was rough to watch for NA fans.
It is, but at the same time, we have to remember, this guy hasn't even spent a full split with his team, right? This is a rookie coming into the LCS, didn't even have a full split with TL. It's his first time in International, and his first game was actually really good against Faker. He went totally even in lane. He was playing the map well, TPing topside to cover dives. We'll see.
Good sidestep from Pallet, not giving the hook out. That was smart against Core. JJ tries to predict, but Core flashes up. There's a summoner down. Goes from Yon to get in lane as well, and GAM strike hard.
Meanwhile, mid lane is going to have those jungle meetups. We saw this deep control ward from GAM did actually spot Pyosik as he goes to answer, as well as the regular ward here in the brush. But yeah, I completely agree. I mean, APA definitely looked good in their first game versus T1, and him and Palafox honestly have a bit of a special relationship. Palafox in North America was basically APA dad, so.
That's nothing nicer than seeing a father and son on the international
father-son
stage.
bonding on the international stage.
It's a beautiful thing, really.
Shockwave, speak of the devil. Maybe he heard you guys talking. There's a buster shot out as Pyosik doesn't have the Cataclysm, but tried to finish the kill.
Critical buster shot there. Otherwise, APA could have gone for a flash follow and gotten that finish. He did actually solo kill on the Orianna, got solo killed, by the Orianna against Palafox. And we can see up in the top lane, it's actually the early Negatron picked up. So he might just sit on this. It could be an early Abyssal Rush or something like that, but I'm more likely thinking he's just going to sit on this and then build towards Mythic from here.
But let's look towards mid. APA, great lantern out. Core JJ, right where you need him, playing clutch so far.
Yeah, visiting the lanes, keeping them safe over here. APA still with the flash. Let's see if he actually, complete the recall, no problem. Is going to leave Pyosik out to dry a little bit in this river, though, as the mid push will be in favor.
Great. It's the all out. It's the equalizer down in response. Kialia flashes, but is matched by Summit. He needs to get the final touch, but saving grace comes through as Levi might turn this situation around, but still the 2v2 continues as Summit's bar is running through. Pyosik's out of there just before the Bramble smash.
Man, I thought Kati was going to come. I thought Kati was going to come up with a Trist, and they were going to be in trouble, but because it's an even 2-on-2, they walk away. GAM will walk away with the Scuttle Crab, and a turret plate in mid. So they get the guaranteed money of 1 turret plate for Kati, but I really thought that Tristana was coming up river. I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were both looking at it. I think that was so greedy from Kati to go for the plate instead of moving to the play. Like, TL were hard engaging on that. If he moves up, it could have been so much more, but the hook!
The hook's great, you're right. Slater flashes away over the wall. He escapes. His pallet is narrowly doing the same thing. There's another Summoner Dow. Slater now with none.
All right, see what they can do. No AD carry flash here for Slater and constantly getting pushed in. Maybe we have a top side to bottom side clear for Pioshik in the works, and they start to think about some of this dragon control.
But I think so far we can start complimenting the TL bottom lane so far, how they've reacted to the plays. Of course, Summoner earlier, his Shockwave is there onto Kati. He'll jump away once again. And APA continues to threaten out with this pick.
Yeah, I really love how APA is actually playing this out. Just using the Shockwave on cooldown really aggressively. There's no sustain on Kati besides just this D-Blade, so he is getting chunked out and being bullied out here by APA, really showing his class in this one.
Yeah, just look at the mini-map right now. I mean, this is a huge difference with mid lane and bottom lane hard pushing. It is open season on that river
Look at
on
the
bottom
guns.
side.
Oh my god, this is horrible because red and white means everything is all right. Yon gets 1. Let's add another. This is the classic Aphelios movement where 2 plays have just been given for free.
All right, Pioshik gonna move in. Look to utilize those pushing lanes we were just setting up. Pallet is here, but honestly, he could just be a bystander since Pioshik does have smite.
He would just be annoying, at the very least. Just
He gives him a little love tap there with the
now
lance
Kati's
as well.
coming.
Or might change it
He's
as well.
dead.
The knock-up's there, you're right, the flash. Oh, no way! When the pressure sits hard, you make mistakes.
That would have been a kill. That would have been a kill for sure. There were
Easily.
only a couple.
Oh no, and it's going to bite back in his favor as well. Kati getting engaged on the ignites down. He doesn't have a flash to hit. With the lantern back in, Gravitum slows him down. He knows that he's dead. Yon gets first blood, and Kati may have single-handedly lost this early game.
What a demoralizing sequence of events for GAM here. Kati faceplant into the wall, and then is also punished in getting killed. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. You have to say in tandem for Yon and Core JJ though. Love that play. Yon gets knocked back with the Buster shot, but boom, Lantern is there, Purple Gun Root is there, and he's able to finish off the kill.
This was just troll from Pioshik though. He was staying so long. And that was so greedy. If Kati doesn't fail the flash, he kills him and he gets out for free because he gets the reset. He'd be too far from Core, but instead, Purple Gun, Root, into the guaranteed play. I guess Core didn't have hook because he never used it. He just autos him to death.
And Yon just stays just on the outside of that W knockup range from Pallet. No problem for him.
That one hurts,
easily
man.
spaced with the green gun. It certainly does hurt, that one. You're going to have to recover, though, because as we said, these are elimination games, so you can't let a mistake like that on the world stage completely tilt your whole game. The goal difference is not that big. It's just 1 kill. It's just 1 first blood here acquired by Team Liquid, so GAM need to stay cool and stabilize.
But you know what my problem is? The fact that Yon, outside of that kill and the small gold lead, yes, it's those double turret plates giving it away as well. We've now got the Nude Quiver, we've got the recurve bow in the inventory, a bit of extra stats for Yon. And when we were saying that this bottom lane was so important for TL, I think this is the perfect start to open up this series.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a good 600 gold up on the bot lane. Summon in the top lane has been very stable. We've been seeing APA do great in the mid lane as well. He's chipped away at that turret a little bit. Could get a plate here. Pioshik is behind him.
Flag and drags there. APA on top as well. Now ring around the Rosie. How do you get out? The nade just grabs Pioshik. He's going to jump in again, or rather it's Core JJ. The flash over the wall to get out. Levi's safe, but TL booming.
Yeah, the Shockwave movement then misaligns the Descendants from Core JJ, so they don't get the combo there, but they still get the flash off of Levi. Maokai now going to have to be a little bit more careful with where he goes, but APA will have to be way careful.
Jump in, yeah. Kati wants the all-in, doesn't find
He wanted the
anything
Buster
more.
shot.
Okay.
APA does also still have flash and uses the extra move speed there from the phase rush, so now he can just retreat into bottom where the rest of his team has full priority. Rift Herald is used for some easy plates.
It's engaging.
Equalizer's available.
is coming through, as you said. Layer it down the carpets there, but APA burns the flash. Herald also taken out in the end.
Yeah, GAM should have had a couple of these kills, man. I mean, that was a full whiff from Kiaya there, and both teams struggling with a bit with nerves here. The coordination not there. The equalizer comes down. Kati Buster shots him away from it, but I don't even think he got 1 tick of that equalizer. APA should have been dead for sure from that position. If he just laid it vertically on him, 1 or 2 ticks, then the Buster shot comes through, he's dead.
It's rough again. I mean, TL being gifted a bit of the early game. As you said, gold is even, but you know, you guys were talking about this a little bit before, and we've got Aphelios, we've got Orianna on the same team, plus Cassante, of course. We know what this comp's going to do if they get the 5v5s, if they get to scale in this game too. And as TL start looking towards this Dragon, again, another prompt for the early game and how well, or at least well-rounded, it's going in game one.
Yeah, we've had about 7-8-ish minutes of mid lane and bottom side pushing for Team Liquid. A lot of priority on the bottom half of the map, resulting in that first blood, now resulting in the Dragon as well. And even the island that is top lane up there, Summit finally does get a turret plate as well in response from that Kiaya roam down mid, or half roam down mid, to get in range for the Rumble ultimate. So Team Liquid very happy with this early game because their comp, this is exactly the type of start you want with this comp that will naturally transition as we get a little close, naturally transition into a very strong front-to-back team fight here with the classic carries of Orion and Aphelios that their only drawback is that they don't have their own dashes and the mobility of those carries. And GAM will have to get very creative there with the Maokai, with the Rakan to ensure that they can kill them off.
And I think coming back to top side and why GAM, you know, aren't winning it more, we're going to see 2v2, of course not, was Azal, you made a point about that Ignite Rumble in lane. Now I'm looking at APA because I've paused on that point. We can come back because it's all in. Finally, GAM! Finally, a play goes well.
There's a lot of attention over towards mid lane. Levi has been there a bunch of times, dropped Herald there, ganked multiple times, and without the flash, APA has no way out, so it's a good kill with the hook.
Looks great. There's a flash from Pallet to move the play over. Yon's out of there thanks to Dark Passage to flash forward, but it's Sephiroth. He's healed up. Piosik in from the back line, and now we have Chaos. A 1-for-1 so far, but Core JJ doesn't miss the hooks. The all-outs there from TL as Summit joins in the fray. Core JJ, it's so good.
Yeah, the TPs come down from both sides there, and Yon with the red gun ulti. Unfortunately, when Slater flashed forward, he slashed straight in a line, so he still got tagged by that red gun ulti. It meant that Yon lived a lot longer than they would have wanted. Here's that earlier gank.
And we all saw this perfectly. There's nothing APA can do. He doesn't have flash. So what really is important is Kati, look at that turret in mid lane. He has already mined 3 plates off. He mines another turret plate right now while this play is going on.
And I actually really love Palad's response to this. It was a great hook from Core, but he just instantly hard engages onto Yon, pushes him back. That red gun ulti kept him alive for a while, though. And with the instant arrival there from both the top laners, Piosik was there as the extra man. That made all the difference. Kiaya TP's down, but it's only to die, unfortunately, for him. So 2-for-1 there for TL. Of course, there was that kill in mid lane for GAM on the other side. So, again, the game very, very even.
Yeah, I want to actually see the individual gold of mid lane. Thank you. I was wondering what it was. I thought it was going to be at least 1,000 gold in the favor of Tristana here, but well over. So we'll see what Kati can do. Kati, traditionally for GAM, he's the go-to guy in the late game. He's the powerhouse to try and get them across the finish line. And this is exactly where they want their gold.
And that's why they put so much pressure towards it. It was APA winning the 1v1 basically all game long, but it was GAM playing so well as a squad, facilitating that advantage for Kati, you know, really putting him in a place to succeed. TL, though, trying to start up this Herald. We'll see if GAM want to do anything about it. Levi is moving up, and both top laners are actually roaming as well because they're missing TP, so I think we're getting a fight.
I feel like at the moment, with that run up, though, it's going to take a while to get there. I mean, GAM getting in position, as you said, as Kiai tries to do some damage on the lead up, but Herald's at 3k. TL 4 members around this, and the eye will be exposed shortly, so feels like a take, but Piosik need people to hit it. GAM run in, they steal it for 3, and TL are split up. Piosik holding on to the ulti for now. They want to get out with a disengage, and TL will go in different ways.
I think they might be a little lucky not to lose anybody's life in that one, as well as losing the objective here. Kiaya did a great job cutting off Summit as he was trying to get there. Chunked him out low, chunks him out low again, and the turret is gone as well. GAM here, stringing together some objectives. Really good defense. They know that not only because Kiaya was able to chunk out Summit on the way there, but Rumble doesn't have to get as close as the Cassante does to have a real impact.
I mean, TL kind of messed it up because they got the Herald too low, so at a certain health, the eye doesn't spawn anymore, right? It basically got too low, so they couldn't combine, you know, the eye hit with the smite, and it just ended up being a straight-up 50-50 instead of having that advantage to actually combo it down. Levi walks in, wins the smite fight, they get that mid lane turret without even using the Herald. They obviously dropped that earlier one there, so it was softened up, but now they have the potential to open up a bit of more of a lead, as it is the Blade of the Rune King rush on Zerion. This is a new one for me. I'm not...
Did he think he was playing Kalista? What's
that seems terrible.
All right, your job, Cody.
So, let's see. We could say there are a couple of high health targets on the front line, maybe trying to get some value there with the percentage. But we will see with it. Bottom side dive first.
Yeah, the Cataclysm down, the carpet in, but they ain't matching numbers. Piosa getting burned down, flushes out, but he's still ticking. Kiaya holding on, and he's still at half HP. The Nature's Grasp is the perfect counter underneath, but Summon with the all-out is going to make it a trade, but getting out is a different story. Flashes away from the TP, and there you go with the turret going down, but Pallet is threatening from the side.
Almost a disaster for Team Liquid because they're going to have a Tristana take topside no problem in addition to this. So the turrets are evenly going to be traded, and they lost the kill.
They saw him. It was on vision, I believe, unless that ward's outside the brush. Pallet getting out.
He was kind of, I think, trying to like style on him a little bit, you know, kind of emoting and stuff, but he ended up losing some health off it. But this is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, Slater going Blade of Rune King, so it's going to be very much about, you know, on-hit damage here, high HP targets. Will he go towards Rage Blade as well then? Like, is this going to be like a, you know, full-on on-hit build? Woo. He's definitely cooking. I don't know if it's going to work out.
He's got the BF sword, double longsword.
So it should be Navori still, yeah.
So it should be fine there. Honestly, though, that last one turning into just a 1 tower for 1 tower and a 1 kill for one kill doesn't move the needle a lot, but starting to stack dragons for Team Liquid could be an issue. We do see full GAM movement towards this area, so a little bit later.
500, it's down. There's Pallet for the re-engage up. In fact, TL are split up as APA is the flashing target, but TL threatening to re-engage with that TP right in the middle. Summon, it looked dangerous, but maybe it's a bait in as Levi flashes out, and Piosik over the wall yet again. Flag and drag out of there while TL threaten, and the dragon is still theirs.
I mean, GAM is just doing such a good job of getting gold onto their carries. That's the big concern right now for TL, is that, yes, APA was doing great in the 1v1, but he's way down on gold compared to Kati, who's been farming plates, who's been taking towers. Slater got a lot of gold as well, and when we saw that gold on the left side of the screen, it was the 2 carries from GAM up at the top. They have that protection, they have that engage, and they're extending an advantage. So yes, there is that Mountain Soul available that TL can work towards, but Orianna needs farm. Orianna needs gold, and they've been struggling with it.
All right, so this one was a little risky because Piosik does not actually hit the EQ onto the Rumble, so no damage, no knock-up there, and Kiaya just turns and burns him with the demonic, roasts him down.
And that's the thing, even when you flash out of the equalizer, even when you get out of that, there is a tick or two afterwards as well. You always have to be careful about. But we're back to live. Piosik looking for Kati.
Circle of Death, he flashes away, just use the rocket jump to get out of there, where we get some flipping down on the bottom side. Still trying to impact the map. Piosik's tried to be so proactive, but it is also hard when Tristana is the target and he has a lot of escapes.
Yeah, but still, really good job. He doesn't use his flash. He goes up, flag and drag forces the rocket jump, the ulti forces the flash. So getting that off is key. But TL, you know, they're light on guaranteed engage, right? You're playing against Zeri and Tristana, 2 really slippery targets here. So it's going to be up to Core and Piosik to be on point with those engages. If you miss, you got nothing.
They're trying to set up a trailing play here in the brush.
Okay, APA runs in and the bait's there. Kati gets exposed to a quick how do you do, but the knockup from Pallet may have saved his life. Flash forward. APA's out of range. Maybe Pallet is the hero, but eventually they get him for the buster shot. Sends him to his death. Both mid laners go boom.
Pretty funny initiation there. Team Liquid were setting up the trailing play with Piosik in the brush, but they couldn't quite connect onto Kati for long enough. And then the buster shot means it's another 1-for-1 with mid laners.
Exactly, and there's just the extra members there from GAM. Pallet kind of making the difference as he arrived faster than the TL reinforcement, so it ended up being that 3v2. So I think TL happy to get out with the 1-for-1 in that situation. Now trying to control vision around this top side. But we can watch it one more time. They almost 100% him. They got him so low here early on. The flag drag didn't hit. That's, what is that, like 50 HP maybe?
Something like that.
And barely able to survive. Then even again through the Q from Piosik, which did land. APA eventually able to chase him down. But as you said, the buster shot into the waiting arms of Levi and Pallet means it's a 1-for-1.
A lot of these trade plays are pretty fun to watch, though. I mean, coming into the tournament, GAM with the highest combined kills per minute in their games on average.
What a surprise. I mean, the BCS again, that's their namesake, isn't it? I'm sure people have heard it too much. As Cuddy is going to be Shockwave back on in. Rocket jump away. He's going to finally find it, but I think APA has just redeemed himself from the other day.
There we go. We had the double KO of mid laners before. They both go down, then they get the rematch one-on-one, and APA with brush advantage gets such an early lead.
They're going to start pairing now. They're going to start this up.
Oh, yeah?
They just want to try to force and see if they can actually draw them in. Potentially, no. They're going to turn. Maybe look for a bit of a pick.
Maybe the gun usage was not great there. Yon only with the red, the purple. I don't know what rhymes with that. Red and purple and everything is...
Not a lot.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Purple, red, you're dead.
At least we don't have orange cards, but at the very least feels like part of the decision-making is TL going deep, but there is some good defensive vision from GAM to spot them out. Not all due diligence has been done as Pallet is in no man's land trying to find an angle, maybe if this Baron does eventually get started up.
Yep.
Okay, they definitely know that they've been spotted, so just clear them out, back right off from here. It's not that big of a gap, so popping a couple of these Maokai saplings, though. You have to be a little bit careful as a Thresh towards the later stages when you're trying to get vision against this Maokai, because just one of those things getting onto you, even before the Demonic is fully completed here from Levi, does sting a bit.
Absolutely. We can just see this one more time. APA had been getting the best of Kati in the 1v1s, had never been able to actually fully finish off these kills, though, and this time, Kati jumps out before the Buster Shot is actually, excuse me, before the Explosive Shot is proc, because he wants to rocket jump, then reset it, then rocket jump again, but that allowed the time for APA to catch up and finish off that kill. And I got to question a little bit Summit going this full Force of Nature. Maybe he feels like he's going to be in the side lane so often, but it is a double AD carry team. It's going to be a lot of physical damage, and he does need to be able to survive, mostly against Kati and Slater. So it's interesting to me. I thought he was just going to get Merc Treads and sit on a bit of MR from that Negatron, but he elected to go for that full second item.
Yeah, there definitely is a lot of AP on the enemy team that's going to splash around, but, you know, with those nerfs a few patches ago to Force of Nature, it definitely dropped a bit in value. Here we go, though. Summit split pushing top with the teleport ready.
Yep. Feels like something to
Here
watch out for. It begins on the bottom side. It'll be a collapse here. Summit with the flash and ulti too. GAM in a choke. Now at this point, I'm worried for Pyosik, APA, what damage they can do to them. As the Dragons at half
Levi's
HP.
in an awkward spot.
Nature's
Look at
Breath's gonna
Pallet.
come
Look at
out.
Pallet.
You said it's awkward, but Pallet's been caught out. They turn on him. He can't flank everything used, but now TL don't have anything left available. Slater with the ulti over the wall as Summit disengages back over towards the Dragon, but even that resets and Pyosik re-engages. But look, Yon has joined back in. Dragon might go over, but GAM are in trouble because Yon has free firing guns available. Running over Slater. He's hitting away at Summit as he's chased over the wall, but Yon's still alive. He's Buster shot it away as he flashes back in. It's over. GAM get the ace, and it was just pure chaos.
The ace and the dragon, that is huge for GAM. The Maokai ultimate rooted APA, so even though they are able to kill off Pallet on the flank, the Maokai ultimate does the engage for them. They don't even need Pallet here because Levi's ultimate just sits APA on top of the Rumble ultimate, and then they fully engage and kill off the mid laner. So look at that, boom.
I also have to question using the Shockwave to actually kill off Pallet there. Yes, you killed the support, but they used so much to do it, and not having the Shockwave meant there was no threat when they're piling in onto APA. And then from this spot, this Cataclysm really worked against Yon. He was so awkward for him. He got all the Chakrams stacked up, but then they fell as he was walking the long way around. That Cataclysm couldn't really get in, and it's kind of just in this like mishmash of different fights. Did have to flash forward to actually finish off Kati to avoid total disaster, because if Kati doesn't die, maybe they just go straight to Baron, but TL, they got to be sweating now. This is a match that they come into the favorites, and it's GAM who's in the lead.
Pallet with the most worthy sacrifice of all time there.
Yeah.
The distraction recon goes
Y'all spent
over.
too much.
Exactly. Invested too much in that kill, and GAM, let's see what they can do with this newfound priority.
I mean, 3,000 gold lead. As you guys said, the Dragon and the fight on top was just so massive. We're also into 3 item territory coming up as well, with bounties on some of the biggest carries of GAM. Put your eyes towards Kiaria in the top side, who's heading towards his third after getting himself the Night Harvester. Third item on the way for Kutsi as well with the Navori Quick Blades. Double Navori as you guys were pondering through that build on Slater as well. There's a lot of power now in this roster.
Double Demonics on this side. Kiaia with the Night Harvester Demonic Rumble build. As much damage as he can get, as much as they can squeeze out, and there they go.
TL walked into this, but the Nature's Grasp is perfect. GAM might have their ultimate fight as Yon was front-lining. TL as scattered. And when it comes knocking, when GAM is 0-2 down,
that's Baron.
They bring everything up to the table.
APA is looking for a Shockwave, though.
How dangerous. So Core JJ needs the hook to come through, but doesn't connect. As you said, APA with the Shockwave there, but GAM still have their members.
Pyosik uses his mic. He has a second charge, but it is refreshing. He's going to try to see if he can sneak around, but if they stay, they're likely to die and lose the Baron anyway. This is a disaster for TL.
It's just going down so quickly. Thanks, Tristan, and thank you, Zeri, and thank you, Baron. GAM 6,000 gold up with Red Bull Baron power play kicking off, and this first game is a total turnaround.
Impressive stuff from GAM. After an arduous fight through play-ins, qualifying here and having 2 rough games to start it out, they're coming out firing here. And look at the initiation. I mean, Kati gets to start free firing before it even starts, right into Maokai engage, and Immediately, they've got Team Liquid scattered here, having to run away across the Rumble ultimate. Yawn just got deleted.
I mean, TL's setup for these fights have just not been good. They don't have their battle lines. You know, Yawn is walking up to try to clear vision, to try to poke away. He's so far up. Core's not behind him, so Lantern doesn't even do anything. Orianna's not there to support. Like, they are not organized in these fights whatsoever, and GAM is not to be underestimated. Yes, they're a team that, you know, you were happy to draw, but if you're not playing to your top level, they can crush you, and they're doing it in this first game.
I think historically we know that GAM are always a team throughout many worlds with different formats, of course, that they could always take a team of some of the best right there, the unexpected demons. And I feel like here against TL opening up, TL maybe got a little bit complacent, a little bit comfortable, couple of mistakes burned through the early game, but GAM are now back on top. And with this Baron power play, we're already close to cresting towards the 3,000 mark. Midway pushing in, top side now pressured as well, and GAM waiting for that next misstep from TL in their own jungle to try and seal the deal.
Okay, they're closing in with Baron. Look at Pallet. Pallet's really deep here.
Oh my god, the Nature's Grasp again. Levi's ultis have been huge. The flag and drag out of there from Piosic, but Pallet rolls in. The man who came in just before playoffs has set up on this Rakan as TL are running away scared. Help me, they say. Somebody, is anybody there? But America's so far away. We're here in Korea, at least closer to Vietnam, as Game 1 will bridge apart. The inhibitor down, the Nexus now open, and Game 1 may have been TL favorites, but GAM came in and said, wait, hold my Red Bull.
Absolute steamroll in those team fights. Beautiful stuff there from GAM in the mid-game to roll it over. They are now at series points here. Team Liquid facing elimination in the consecutive following games.
Yeah, TL going to be up against it. It's going to be a tough one now. You know, they were just really